Okay, what is up you guys? This is the second part of my three-part redstone video for today. I am doing another monostable extension-based door, and we will jump into it right now. Let me just set the time today here, get rid of my daylight cycle. We'll do this all in bright light. So what we are going to do is we're going to do a similar style of design as my monostable, or falling edge monostable circuit right here, but we're going to be doing something a little bit different. So again, I will show you my newest version of this door. I already have a video of these guys, but the one they did before implements half slabs, and I've had quite a bit of an issue with half slabs. They don't seem to work 100%. You fall through them pretty consistently, which is obviously not something you want, because then you have to jump up through your pistons, and it defeats the whole point. So I've yet to try this in the survival world to see if it does actually cause you to fall through the blocks, but I think the half slabs were causing the issue. So I'll just show you the idea here, just so you get a feel for what we're doing. And unfortunately guys, this will have to be underneath of a stair block or a half slab. Just something that's elevated so you can in fact go underneath of it just like so. And obviously with this design I've implemented two different staircases heading down in a different way each time. Just based on where I put my monostable circuit, I could have changed this, honestly, it wouldn't have made a difference. I could have moved this entirely out of the way and extended the line with a repeater, and then I could have made this a flat staircase and you never would have seen any of the redstone. But, so what we're doing today is we're doing a double piston extension, elevator type style door. I really hope that the stone blocks do fix the falling through issue, because honestly I'm not too keen on falling through my pistons. I'm just going to check to see if survival has anything to do with it here. Alright, so there we go. Let's get into this video guys. I'll just switch myself back to creative here, and we will teach you what you're here to see. So, same thing as before, mind the pixel art there. Same thing as before, just toss your main block down anywhere you want it. And put a piece of dust down on top, and a torch down on one side of the block, whichever way you'd like, does not matter at all. You're going to take a repeater and point it out from your torch with no delay at all, so just a regular repeater. And then you're going to dig down in front of your repeater. We'll put a regular piston, and on top of your regular piston you're going to put either sand or gravel. It just has to be a block that's going to fall back down, and a piece of dust down beside the sand or gravel. From there you're going to put a repeater pointing back into your block, so that's your orientation for where to put the dust. The repeater this time has a 3-tick delay, 2 clicks on the repeater. And that is the first part. So this part relies on a double piston extension, just like my last one did, except this one uses both pistons having a double piston extension instead of just one. So to drag this away from my monostable circuit, I'm just going to do this and just do that. So you guys don't have to do this, you could put it right next to your monostable if you want, like I showed you before. I just don't like the cluttered look it gave me. So from there, I'm just going to do this, and put 2 repeaters down, pointing out from 2 blocks of dust, with 2 blocks of dust, wow, 2 redstone dust, there we go, with 2 blocks out in front of your repeaters, and a torch down on both of them, with again, a block down on top of both your torches, just like so. Now what we're going to need to do is we're going to need to switch off our monostable circuit. So just get rid of your sand, you won't need it again, and grab yourself a lever. From there you're going to turn on your torches by turning off this torch, turning off the redstone line, turning off your repeaters, turning on your torches. Now what you're capable of doing is placing down 4 sticky pistons behind our blocks here, which will in fact be our elevator. So when we do this at normal, it will look like so. Now get rid of your lever again and grab yourself a staircase or slab of your choosing. And just go ahead and build one up. Like you saw before, I am going to actually do a double staircase design because I have a design like this in my survival base. And I want to implement this type of elevator to see if it's working again in that type of a design just because I like the idea. So, just to make this look a little bit more feasible, we will do, oops, I think I actually lock onto my block there, there we go. We are just going to do a nice little 2 wide staircase on both sides. Okay, so we've got ourselves a 2 wide staircase and our double piston extension right here in the middle. Obviously we're going to be needing to use these blocks as a wall for our other blocks, so we'll just get back to that in a minute. Only thing left to do now, guys, is to in fact set up a lower staircase and a button output. Same as before, all you have to do to grab your button output is get rid of your lever here, so just turn that off. And there you go, that's going to give you an idea as to where your platform will be. And you can now go out from here. So I'll do this the same way I have my staircase build set up. And that is just like so. So you got to remember where your piston extension is. Mine is right here in the middle. And obviously with the staircase being up 1 block, you are in fact ready to go underneath of them. So technically if you wanted to, you could go level with it. It's entirely up to you. I just like the idea of an underground base underneath of my above ground base or above my regular base, however you want to do it. Just this very sneaky hidden base type thing. Maybe you want divided rooms. So just like I told you guys in my last video, if you guys are going to make any adjustments to this, make sure you do it while the torches are off. Because as you saw, when I put a block right down next to my piston, it triggered the piston, which we don't want to happen. So to fix that, we're going to need to come back over here and put a lever back down on the block, turn it on, and then reset our pistons. So that's done, that's done. Just grab yourself some stickies, go up. Pardon me. Sorry, it's very dry in my room, dusty. There we go. So obviously we've got ourselves a nice level floor block here, and you can do whatever you'd like from after this. We're going to imagine that this is ground level, and in fact I have buried all of my circuit below ground, which is usually what I do in my survival worlds. Sorry guys, just 1 second here. Oh, pardon me. Gross. So, again, this time it will have to be a 1 wide staircase because you can't go on either side. Technically you could in fact get rid of these blocks, but it wouldn't do you anything at all. Because that is where our floor block is, over here. So the only 2 ways out are to the 2 sides, which is why I've now done a double staircase on both sides. Again, get rid of your lever, grab your staircase in case you made the same mistake I did, and then just go ahead on like that. Oops, not like that. And then we have a staircase that leads up to a closed block, and what that is because we need to put in our 2 flip-flops for the button output. I don't like levers, guys, I really don't, so I use T flip-flops for button outputs. So we are just going to drag this around back towards our output here. So again, I'm going to do it so I don't have to see any of my redstone. So just to show you guys how that would work, I'm gonna actually, I don't know if this is gonna trigger my pistons. Nope, it's all good. Just as long as you don't place blocks beside your pistons while they're off. Or delete blocks. Delete blocks, it acts as a block update detector, which is not what we want here. Alright, so there we go. We've got our 2 different staircases, which are obviously fully functional here. And then, what you do from here is entirely your business. Again, I can't put blocks straight down my pistons right now because it will interfere with the redstone signal. So for the time being, I will settle for this, just to make it look a little bit prettier. So there you have it. And then we will also put blocks down here to complete our wall. And that won't interfere with our signal at all. So if you got your magical floor block, which I will just complete quickly, sorry about all the jumping around here, guys. You don't have to complete your floor, but this is just to give you an idea as to how I would set something like this up. And of course, you don't have to set this up in the same way by any means. However, if you are based on aesthetics, you're not going to want the underside of your staircase to be hollow. So just to show you, you can fill in your staircase and you'll still be, in fact, able to use your lower staircases. There you go. And again, you can do a level base if you wanted to, but you'd be very, very limited for room. Unless you were to build rooms up and behind your staircases, which were blocked off, and you could then use those. But that I will leave totally up to you guys. The only thing left to do is to put in our buttons, so let's do that right now. So we got rid of our lever. The only thing left to do is put a button on the top and the bottom. So I'm going to drag this out around my monostable circuit, wait for the autosave to finish. There we go. And make sure you're 2 blocks away so none of it conflicts. There you are. And I will be needing a repeater for this. Actually, I'm going to do this a little bit differently. I'm going to go 4 blocks away, put my T flip-flop right over here, and then I will loop the rest of it back into there to do our 2 buttons. I'll do a floor button and a wall button, just like I did in my last video, just so you guys get an idea. I'll do a floor button up here and a wall button down here. You could do it on either wall or the floor if you really felt inclined. Doesn't make a difference. I'm just showing you what I'm going to do. So again, redstone can't be longer than 16 blocks unless there's a repeater, and I don't want to use a repeater. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and now we put our T flip-flop. So on one side of this, you'll need to go 2 blocks out from your redstone line here, and make sure your sticky piston is in fact level with your redstone line, just like so. And then 1 block out from your redstone line, put another sticky piston facing the first. Get a redstone block, then put it down in between. You don't need a redstone block for this, guys. I just prefer it. I don't like the torch method that powers a block that powers the line. That's only useful in a few different situations, so I like to use a block. But if you want to do the space conservative method, I will teach you how to do the other 2 flip-flops afterwards. So again, 2 blocks out. I'm still not going past my wall here, and I will just drag this back over to 2 different places. I'm going to do, like I said, I'm going to do a wall block and a floor block. So right here is going to be our wall block. This is the floor block, obviously, guys, just because it's going to, in fact, be at the floor. And I will do that, just punch out this block here so I know where I am. Okay, so that's the block. I'm going to put a button down on top of it. Actually, just for visibility sakes, I will put wooden buttons. I know I have a habit of using stone just to keep my buttons relatively hidden. But there we go. So we're just going to connect our button, and just in case anyone doesn't know, the button input does actually count as a redstone line. So if we, that's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and we are in fact going to need a repeater. Since it's a button output, we're going to point this repeater back into the T flip-flop, and then just finish that right there. So the only thing left to do is in fact to put in a floor button. So if you wanted, you could actually use the exact same place, or if you wanted, you could instead use a different spot. Say you want to do, I don't know, right there. Won't really make a difference. Just again, make sure that you are in fact in the right spot, and you go ahead and toss your button down. So just to show you guys that this is now fully functional, press our button, and our floor comes up. Press our button again, the floor goes down, and we press this button, and we're going back up. So this is just absolutely lovely, guys. I do really like this design. Like I said, I hope the stone blocks instead of the slabs fix my issue that I was having before of falling through, because I do really like this door, and I hope that it doesn't cause me any issues in the future. That has been the next video in the Redstone Insanity video or series, and this is wow, I lost my train of thought. This is your boy Godfrey. My next video is going to be a farming video for semi-automatic melon farms, pumpkin farms, and just general wheat farms. And I will show you how to do that in the next one. Godfrey out. Take care, YouTube. Oh, 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 oh my god.